All right, so I'll let you guys get started, introduce yourselves, and take it away.
Hello, my name is Dean Anselm. I'm currently a sophomore, and my meal plan option as of right now is all access plus 7.
I'm Hunter Isley. I'm also a sophomore here at Elon, and I have the block meal plan.
And we're going to be talking about increasing meal plan options for underclass students. This is specifically for first and second year students. And it's really going to be mostly about the students that live on campus, because those are the students that are kind of forced to have and forced to be into certain meal plan options by the university.
So for our recommendation, we would like to provide block meal plan options for first and second year students to increase campus safety and to increase campus retail use.
So I'm going to kind of go into what are the meal plans at Elon. I'm sure most of you know. For those of you who don't, there's the All Access Plus 14. This is the most expensive of all of them. However, you get like the most options and all that. However, not many students choose this meal plan option as one. The most common is the All Access Plus 7, which gives you access to the campus retail options, and usually first year students, this is the most popular for them. Moving on, the All Access Basic. This option gives you access to all dining halls and limited swipes, but you do not have as much access and as much guaranteed access to the campus retail options. And so that's kind of where the block meal plan options come in, and this is for students that live off campus. You mostly see upper class students, juniors and seniors who have this meal plan option. Sophomores can have this meal plan option, but again, that's if they're not in university-owned housing. And so the block meal plan option is just a simple, one swipe. Swipe equals a block, and it's equal to any dining hall or retail usage. So you'll have access to the on-campus retail locations, unlike the people who just have the all-access basic. And so as you can see, the costs between the two are pretty significant, and we'll get into more details with that when we discuss our plan. And so the key reasons to implement our recommendation, one is to increase campus safety. This is something that the university takes very seriously and has been working on for years. As some of you may know, the Burlington area is an area in the United States and North Carolina that isn't considered to be the safest and has high crime rates, which we'll visit in the next slide. And so the university has been working hard to kind of keep students on campus and making sure that they're limiting the amount of dangers that students come into face with. Also, two, increase affordability. This is, as we had mentioned in the other slide, the difference in the cost between the meal plan options. Giving students more access to the block meal plan can help students save money and allow them to expense some of their costs to other things such as books, other places to live around campus and such. Three, promote healthier food options. That's something that has been a goal across all the United States at universities and high schools and public education. It's just to increase healthier food options because obesity has become a pretty big issue in the United States, especially with youth. And so, as you've seen in the university, they've been increasing options for vegetarian options, gluten-free and such, and all that. Four, decrease dining hall waste and sustainability. Again, another huge goal of Elon is sustainability. Right outside this building, there's a huge geothermal thing for electricity and energy. And they've also been doing things in the dining halls to increase sustainability, such as the Weigh the Waste project, which happens a few times during the year, where they'll weigh the amount of waste that they see in the dining halls, and we'll get more into the facts and all that in the presentation.
All right, as Dean previously said, Burlington is not the safest place to be. As the image shows, like the darker blue or like purple lookish, like purple areas is where like crime frequently happens and stuff, and you can see like Elon's not really part of that as much. And with Burlington, there are reported 2,225 reported crimes annually, which is 92% higher than the national average. and it is ranked in the bottom 31% of livability.
And inside the reported crime incidents, the highest ones that they see is with like theft, automobile things, like burglary and robbing, and also like assault. So it's not necessarily little petty crimes that people see, it's real crimes that people are coming into danger with on a daily basis.
Alright, so for increased affordability, through anecdotal evidence, which is like talking through conversation with the people we surveyed, students prefer the block meal plan over the all access meal plan. Most students have or had the all access plus 7 meal plan. Second year students, given the opportunity, would rather have the block meal plan over all access. And the main reason why most people would choose block meal plan over all access is mainly just because of price.
And so, into promoting healthier food options, again, through anecdotal evidence and conversations I've had with people while being on campus and doing this presentation, when students eat off campus, it's typically at fast food locations. As you can see, these are the places I believe, and through conversation I've seen most students going to when they decide to go off campus for locations, or even just ordering in. Whether that be Cookout, Dunkin', Chick-fil-A, Domino's. Also, one of the main reasons why students decide to eat off campus in general is because that can be less expensive, and it definitely is if you look at the cost of simply actually using dollars at the on-campus retail locations compared to going to one of these places off campus. The price can be very different. And also, especially on weekends, this is when I think students will travel off campus the most for food, because dining halls aren't necessarily open all the time, the retail places aren't open all the time, so the hours are a little inconsistent. And so students that do travel off campus find that the hours are definitely more convenient for them and they want to get food, and so that is why they'll travel off campus. And so going into kind of nutritional and cost comparison, I chose Cookout to compare to the 3 places on campus because I think especially first year students, this is the most heavily frequently visited place, and also you can also see a trend with sophomores. And so at Cookout, you're roughly spending $5 for, you get a lot of food in the tray. You get an entree, 2 sides, and then a drink only for $5. And so you can compare that to what you kind of get at the on-campus retail locations, which at times don't necessarily even give you enough food per swipe, and sometimes you might even still be hungry for more food. And as you can see, just looking at the prices overall, that you're going to be spending way less at Cookout than at some of the places on campus if you're going to be going there regularly and everything. And also another thing with the nutrition, if you compare the bottom line with the calories, yes, there's a large range for Cookout, and the 590 calories and the high point are kind of unrealistic things as what you could be getting there. So usually you'll roughly be seeing yourself eating around 1,500 calories and 2,000 calories per meal there, which is very high. You're really only, I guess, a normal person should be eating, as they say, 2,000 calories. Whether or not that's low to you, it's a subjective amount. However, the other places, Payway is the only other exception with a wide range. 390 to 1,600 calories, that depends on, you can substitute like chicken if you get white or brown rice and everything. However, there are the options for you to have a healthier meal rather than at Cookout, where most of the things you will be getting don't have the most nutritional value for you.
So for dining hall, we would like to decrease the dining hall waste. And as you can see from the image over here, in March, 24% it was reported that there was no waste, or that, and then 40% of that was that people took too much of the food given, and the other 10% was like people was given too much food, or 16% was that they just didn't like the taste, and then the last 10% was other. And then for April, there was reported 28% no waste, 32% took too much, 10% was given too much, and 16% didn't like the taste, or the other 14% was just other. And with this, we would like to cut back on dining hall waste. And with block meal plan, we would promote using more retail places so there would be less waste.
Well, they also, as Hunter was going through the percentages, you can see that the largest percentage is through, either being given too much or taking too much, which means that the dining halls are kind of making too much food in a sense for the student population already. And so we think that with the block meal plan, as Hunter was kind of alluding to, people will be going to the retail locations more, which means the dining halls can kind of anticipate that less people will be going there even more than or more, so that they don't have to be producing as much food on a day in, day out basis, and this can kind of limit the amount of waste and the expenditures that go into the dining halls.
So our plan of action, we would like to have like a wide email with like the student body, maybe posting it through school website, dining halls, tours, social media, just to kind of get the word out there, and to promote the benefits like increasing affordability, healthier food options, and to stay on campus more. That way we're not in a high crime rate area like Burlington.
Also, the last point with communicating to dining employees about the change, this is going to be very important. So as we said before, there might be less people visiting the dining locations, and also there could also be a cutback in the amount of employees that will be working there in anticipation that maybe the dining halls will be less frequently visited. However, these employees can be moved to the retail locations where you might see more increases in the amount of people visiting there, so there might be more. We're going to need more workers there and hands-on work there. And so kind of the support that we're going to need for this kind of comes just back from the previous slide with our plan of action. There's not really any upfront costs, and we're not really creating a new meal plan per se. It's just more, we're going to open up the meal plan option to more people. And so we think that having the backing from the head of the Broussard office and the head of Elon Dining, and using their platforms such as like the Elon website, putting up like a thing on the main screen page, or when you go to Elon Dining through that website, one of the first things that pops up on the screen is, hey, new meal plan option available, block meal plan option now available for first and second year students. Click here for more info. Having their strong backing and support, and when they write these emails or put it out on social media, then really promoting, saying, hey, we believe in you guys, like we believe in these things, we're gonna promote your ideas, we're gonna promote the benefits, like Hunter said in the previous slide, increasing the affordability, healthier food options, really hitting those nails on the head will help us if we want to see people choosing this meal plan more. And so, any questions that you guys may have?
Let's just start.
So,
what made you guys want to do this topic?
Through conversations I've had with people, one of my close friends, he's currently in the all access basic meal plan. And so through the university's eyes, he's a sophomore, but technically he is like junior standing with credit hours. And so he's gone back and forth with the university saying, hey, I want to switch to a block meal plan, but he still lives on campus technically, so they're saying, no, you can't. You're still a sophomore, you live on campus, you have to have the all access basic. And he's paying an extra couple $1,000s a year for that meal plan, and he's not getting the full benefits. As if if you're going to pay less, he could pay less, and then you would have more options available to him. And he's kind of stuck where he's ordering food out more. We've been having to use swipes for him a lot and stuff like that. It's not just him, there's plenty of students that I've talked to that have this issue as well.
Okay, next question.
What are like some of the other ideas you guys had for like meal plans that they can like add in?
So I personally think that the meal plan options are fine now. I don't see an issue with them. And through research at other universities, I saw that ours is better than what's being offered at other universities as well. So I don't think necessarily needs to be changed. It just needs to, I think that the option needs to be available to everyone rather than cutting it off to only certain people.
Got it.
Have you thought about, the summer, cause the summer the dining halls aren't open at all, and it's like you have to go off campus to eat like every time, and that could definitely like interfere with campus safety being out in Burlington. So I know like we're here during the summer, like with basketball team, and we have to go off campus to eat like every time with our games start.
Well, I'll take that one. So basically, I would think that the dining hall should be open for like athletes and stuff like that, since y'all are mainly here all the time. But since there's like very few students, they would probably be very limited hours for like those other people. So just going like on that, I think that, you know, it should be provided, but that would be something we would have to talk with like up higher up in school.
Great. Any other questions? So, make sure you do one, you have, all right, so let's talk about, what they did well. Who wants to start? Request, go ahead.
But they had great points on like why they wanted to change that, like why they wanted to change.
What else? Amelia?
I thought all of their information was very clear, especially the slide with, the cookout versus payway and all those things. I thought that that was like, very convincing, I guess, and it just showed like enough information for us to really like realize why we need, other options and stuff like that.
I agreed. I thought the information on the meal options, options for the meal plan as well as the nutritional options, what they had, you know, what you could potentially get. It made sense because they were saying it's not just about eliminating waste, but it's healthier eating, and I think they hit every one of those points with substance, with evidence to back it up. What other things did they do?
I thought it was creative and unique, because like making it this unique and like, you know, by itself, it gets people to back it up, because, you know, people go out on their own and it's something they can stand behind. Stuff like this can relate to the students, you know, they can relate to that very well. So you'll have a lot of people easily back that idea.
Anything they could do, have done differently? Could have seen a little bit more gestures. Hunter, you did gesture towards the screen. You were personable themed, but you could have been a little bit more effusive and interacting with those graphics a little bit more, especially if they have a lot of detail on that slide. Walk us through that detail. Simply just by pointing to it, it helps us stay engaged. Anything else they might have done to improve? Well, that's an overrounding, a yes and support for the team. Okay. I'm gonna let you finish up those feedback sheets, and I'll come back around to get them.